Greetings all, this is Hairy Nick.
This is Justin.
How is Justin?
I'm doing well in the third person.
Excellent, you were just here a few days ago.
I was. And that's because we had some things released, and now we've got even more released. It just keeps happening.
Yes, it happened 1 week after the last one. Who knew it was possible? FFG, more of this. Every week, article. We need them. Well, I say that. Basically, the Wave 3 release, for it to come out within Q1, like they said, they basically need to put out an article a week and then just release it straight after for that to happen. So,
please?
Fingers crossed, but look, whatever. We'll have Wave 4 in Q2, again, hopefully. Not going to comment on release schedules. They've gotten better recently, but yeah, not too confident at this stage. Anyway, this article, For the Republic, details some more stuff about the Guardians of the Republic squad pack, but this time about the upgrade cards.
Yeah, it's quite an interesting read.
Yeah, it's not bad. Not as hyped about these as the CIS cards, but they were like new upgrade types and that kind of thing.
Yeah, I look at these new droids and I go, ooh,
yeah,
well, it's pretty good.
Interesting, yeah. I wanted to see the new Astromechs for the Republic. This article gave us those.
Yeah.
A new Force upgrade, which looks kind of interesting. I'm not...
Yeah.
I don't know what to make of a lot of this. Like, we're still not all that hype about the Torrent Fighter. But I think, you know, the right upgrades in the right places, it might work okay. Now, before we dive into this, I just want to comment on something that somebody left in the comment section in the last video. Actually, there was a lot of good responses in that video.
Thank you for messaging us and letting us know.
Yes, absolutely. Now, we were talking about the interaction between Plo Koon or whatever his name is, and tractor tokens.
Yeah. And
Stephen Esvin left this nice response about how the rules interactions work. Basically, it doesn't matter who the tractor token belongs to, so long as it's all about the effect that causes the tractor token to go to a ship. It doesn't matter whether it was transferred, whether it was gained through anything else. So long as a tractor token goes onto a ship that didn't have one, it becomes tracted. So the answer to my question was, yes, he's tracted, and you, the player, the user of Plo Koon, gets to tractor him.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
okay. That's pretty good.
It's kind of bizarre how you can do that. Look, you can read this rules interaction on the screen here. I completely agree. There's no actual grey area here. It seems pretty black and white. So as long as FFG don't change it in on the forums or an FAQ or something like that, that is the interaction. So Stephen, thank you so much for leaving that in the comment section. That's very, very helpful. Anyway, let's talk about the new stuff we see in this article, and I'll just go through it as it appears in the article. First of all, we have a new talent, Dedicated, and this is the what do we call them? The adjective talent for each faction.
So Dedicated says, while another friendly ship in your side arcs at range 0 to 2 defends, if it is limited or has the dedicated upgrade and you are not strained, you may gain 1 strain token. If you do, the defender re-rolls one of their blank results. Now, this is a Republic non-limited card. Yeah,
so it only goes on, what, Jedi Knights, Blue and Gold Squadron on the Torrent Fighter, and whatever's going to be the Arc,
yeah.
Also Naboo Starfighter and all that kind of stuff. But I don't think we're really looking at this on the Naboo Starfighter. It's more for support roles alongside the Jedis, I think is the idea here.
Yeah.
Unless you just spam it on your whole squad and then it just works with each other. It'll depend on the points cost, whether that's possible or not. So yeah, if you are not strained, you may gain 1 strain token. The defender re-rolls one of their blank results. I am trepidatious about how effective that is. It's re-rolling a green dice, and honestly, green dice aren't that amazing.
Yeah, but it's still a re-roll.
It is it is improving the quality of your green dice, and that's cool.
Yeah.
It is at the cost of your own green dice, so you're shifting around your resources, and that's really cool. If your opponent can't pick off, if your opponent's trying to pick off one ship in particular, that's really good.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe like a 4 of Arc, or like a whole spam of Torrents, or it's interesting. Like, we really want to work out how to make the Torrent Fighter possible, how to make it viable. I mean, we already know we're getting the Arc 170, and we know the Arc 170 is already a decent ship. So, yeah. Also, a couple of interesting things about it. It's a non-limited talent. That's the first of those we've seen, which is kind of cool. Plus, really nice art. Reminds me of Fearless and the Scum faction. I've always loved all the nice, unique designs on it. I can't wait for these guys to come to Legion because people are going to go nuts with these paint jobs.
Oh, yeah.
Also, like painting this on the Torrent Fighter, maybe the Arc 170, could look really, really cool. Lots of room for customization. Let us move on to the next card revealed here, the Synchronized Console. Now, this was in the spread of one of the previous articles, and we sort of had to see it like skewed and that kind of thing. But now we got the full shot of it. We've talked about it before. Let's talk about it again because we have a lot more context for it this time.
Yeah. So, Synchronized Console says, after you perform an attack, you may choose a friendly ship at range 1 or a friendly ship with this Synchronized Console upgrade at range 1 to 3 and spend a lock you have on the defender. If you do, the friendly ship you choose may acquire a lock on the defender.
And it requires the target lock action as well, which is every ship currently, but that's just a safeguard so you don't accidentally put redundant cards on something, because there's no point taking this if you don't have target locks. Yes, so this is again shifting around resources. So we're looking at this specifically on the Jedi Starfighter. I mean, obviously you can go on the Torrent Fighter as well.
Yeah.
But this is a modification. And we have the calibrated laser targeting on the Jedi Starfighter, which takes a configuration and the modification slot. And that prevents you from taking this alongside the Delta 7B variant on the Jedi Starfighter.
So, which one do you reckon personally would be... that is a hard question.
I really like 3 green dice on the Jedi.
Yeah.
And I think that's... I mean, we don't know how much these are going to cost for a start.
Yeah.
I mean, this and Delta 7B might just be horrendously expensive in calibrated laser targeting. It's just like an auto ad. I mean, the points will balance out in time. I mean, whatever.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I don't want to lose that green dice. Let's say, points aside, I think I would rather have calibrated laser targeting than the 2 cards together.
Yeah, I think you're right.
That's just how I feel about it. But in terms of what this is doing, I think this is actually more powerful than the Torrent Fighter.
Yeah.
Because it gives you the ability to unlock missiles on several fighters at once if you only have one target lock.
Yeah.
And look, the flaw on this, if you're not doing anything crazy with missiles, is you have a target lock on one of your ships, and the rest of the ships get to use the target lock if the first one doesn't. It's like, I just rolled well, I don't want to re-roll, say, a focus result, I'll just spend a focus, and then the next ship gets to use the target lock instead.
Yeah.
Sharing around resources is powerful if you don't need to use them. If you need to spend target locks on every ship you're using, well, that kind of sucks, but I like the flexibility it gives, that's for sure.
I think even on an Arc, it's going to be a good card as well.
Yeah, well, Arcs have torpedoes as well, so that's going to be relevant. Lots of dice. I mean, yeah, that you're right. Just having lots of dice makes this relevant, like Arcs and Jedi Starfighters. In fact, I think pretty much everything's going to be interested in this. We know the Naboo Starfighter is going to have target locks because it's going to have torpedoes.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a bad option for this, unless it's horrendously expensive. I think that's the one thing that's going to stop us from seeing play.
Yeah.
Yeah, really cool, really cool. Let us move on. Oh, okay, new Force upgrade, Battle Meditation. A faction-specific one as well, only on the Republic.
Which is interesting. I mean, I suppose it makes sense. You've got the dark side ones, so you should be able to have faction-specific.
It's all about being part of the Jedi Order and being a group of a lot of Jedi. Other factions aren't really meant to have lots of Force users, like apart from Inquisitors, but even those are kind of meant to be rarities on the Empire. You cannot coordinate limited ships, so just be careful about what platform you put this on, just in case. While you perform a purple coordinate action, you may coordinate one additional friendly non-limited ship of the same type. Both ships must perform the same action. So this is fun, alongside multiple torrents and arcs, possibly multiple Jedi Starfighters. I mean, maybe 4 Jedi Knights with battle meditation. You could do some pretty disgusting things, potentially.
Yeah.
I just got to get my head around all the hoops here. So you're not using this in a 3 of Jedi build because they can't be non-limited. You can't coordinate limited ships full stop.
No.
Yeah. So, okay, right. Okay, I'm just trying to get my head around this. So basically, you're looking at a Jedi alongside Torrents, Arcs, maybe Naboo starfighters.
Yeah.
Even Anakin on the N1 might be interested in this if he's cheap enough.
Oh,
I am curious about Anakin on the
think
N1.
About that.
I am curious about Anakin on the N1 because he's only Initiative 4, which is not a thing we have on Unique Jedi, apart from, I think, Ezra on the attack shuttle, I think, if I'm remembering correctly. I'm finding it hard to place this card in my head, actually, very fun. Just getting a coordinate for a Force token is very good. That's cool.
Yeah.
It's the limitations it has built into it which makes me go, oh, I don't know.
Yeah, but you do get to coordinate 2 ships.
Yeah, it's powerful.
So,
it's definitely powerful.
Yeah.
Must be the same action, must be the same kind of ship, must both be non-limited. So like double target locking. I mean, because you're coordinating, you can coordinate 2 low initiative ships, give them both a target lock, even though they didn't have range when they activated.
Yeah.
So that's a very powerful thing you can potentially do. Maybe Anakin alongside some Torrents. I mean, it just seems to me like this card demands an entire list be built around it. And I don't know if that's good enough. I don't know if I'd rather just have like more good ships rather than try and build around this kind of thing. Again, points, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, it's very interesting. Like, I love cards that push entire ideas by themselves. Having said that, with Force abilities, I was hoping for some more just good generic stuff, not this kind of thing.
Well, we've still got time.
We've still got time. There'll be more stuff. There'll be more stuff. All right, moving right along. Okay, so Astromechs. We have R4P Astromech and R4P17, which is Obi-Wan's personal astromech.
Yeah.
And just like all the other astromechs we see, it's kind of like the generic ability and a more powerful ability that you have to spend more points on, but it's a unique card. Just like R2 astromech and R2D2, BB astromech and BB8, and R5 and R5P8?
I think that's right.
R5, I think that might be the scum one. You know the one I'm talking about.
So R4P says before you execute a basic maneuver, you may spend 1 charge. If you do, while you execute that maneuver, reduce its difficulty.
So we're not talking S loops or K turns, just basic maneuvers, which is handy. The Naboo Starfighter has red hard turns, so it might be interested in this. Look, basically anything is interested in this because it can make the white maneuvers blue.
Yeah.
That's very relevant in some situations. That's cool. That's cool. So this is going to be very handy on the Arc 170 because it has red hard turns.
Yeah.
Also, if the Republic get Y-Wings...
Which they probably will eventually.
I think they probably will. We don't know if it's going to be the same as the BTLA-4 Y-Wing.
Yeah.
We know the BTLA-4 was the one specifically that flew in Yavin, so they might change it. I mean, it was more streamlined. The chassis was different, so I wouldn't be surprised if they changed the Y-Wing for the Clone Wars. But if it still has red hard turns, yes, I think this is interesting. This is nowhere near the territory of Unhinged Astromech from First Edition, where it just made red maneuvers green and all that kind of nonsense. But we're not talking about that kind of stuff anymore. Now, the upgraded version of it actually isn't strictly better this time. In fact, I think in some scenarios it's worse. R4P17, after you fully execute a red maneuver, you may spend 1 charge to perform an action even while stressed. And I think this is generally better. The fact of the matter is, with Jedi Starfighters, you can do S loops and K turns and still take actions, which is really powerful.
Yeah.
They have boost and barrel roll, they can do all that kind of stuff. Also, after you fully execute a red maneuver, let me just read an interaction here. Yeah, finely tuned controls after you fully execute a maneuver, you may spend a force to do a boost or barrel roll on the Aether Sprite.
Yeah.
Which means if you use the droid, you can do that and take the action.
Yeah.
So you get a nice bit of versatility there.
See, I personally think that this will go great on Mace.
Yes. Oh, yes, that's a very good point, which is weird because it's Obi-Wan's.
Yeah.
Actually, I got to say, I'm kind of disappointed this does nothing with Obi-Wan.
Yeah. It is a bit sad, isn't it?
Yeah, considering it's Obi-Wan's personal droid. I mean, who knows, maybe when Anakin and R2 are revealed, they'll be amazing together, but yeah, kind of weird. I mean, it's not bad. The fact of the matter is, this is powerful and an ace no matter what.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like anything that can give you that extra bit of versatility. If you can S-loop and then barrel roll to arc dodge afterwards, and that's the difference between your opponent getting a shot on your ace, that could be pretty huge.
Yeah, no, you're feeling pretty good.
Yeah, and I've already spoken about how good the Jedi are going to be with their green dice because of the purple evade and all those force tokens. Anything that gives him any extra flexibility when it comes to arc dodging is really good. Like, seriously, that's awesome. Okay, one last card to have a look at. And this is probably the most curious card that was revealed.
Yeah.
Because this is not a Republic-specific thing. In fact, it can go on several other factions. The spare parts canisters.
This is intriguing.
It is intriguing. Only one charge and 2 actions. Both of them require you to spend a charge. One of them allows you to recover a charge on one of your astromechs. The other one lets you drop the spare parts cloud,
which is the small cloud.
Yeah, it's like the tiny little rigged cargo chute. Also break all the locks on you, which makes sense because you're getting rid of missiles, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
We don't know what that cloud does. I wouldn't be surprised if it's another debris cloud.
Yeah.
Stress and criticals, all that kind of stuff. And it's only one charge, so I'm expecting this to be dirt cheap, but the most interesting part about this is it can go on the Rebellion, Scum, and Resistance as well.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. Nothing jumps out at me as being really busted with any of them. Getting the extra charge, I mean, that's very interesting on BB-8. I'm sort of curious about this on Poe Dameron if it's cheap enough.
Yeah. See, I'm thinking maybe not so much to do it with the droid, just have it on a good ace. If you're thinking about it, putting on like Wedge or Luke.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you just use it to break the locks against you.
That's true. Now, you must have an astromech equipped. It doesn't just need the astromech slot. It also needs the astromech equipped.
Yeah.
Which is fine because you're pretty much always using like R4s or whatever they are. The one that reduces the difficulty of the 1 and 2 speeds. Yeah.
Or you have the R3, which is the double target lock.
Yeah, that's true. So yeah, those builds usually include an astromech anyway. And then you get a cloud. Oh, also, it's worth pointing out, just like Rid Cargo Chute, you drop it as an action, not during the system phase. So it interacts with initiative. So the higher initiative your ship is, the better this is, because the more information you get about where you're dropping it on the battlefield.
Yeah.
And from that point of view, maybe FFG want to be very careful with the costing of this. Maybe they will just slightly overcost it just to be conservative. I can't think of anything crazy busted to do with this, but it has very easy application right off the bat. I don't think this is not going to see play. I think
it's going to see play. Yeah.
It has so many different options and it has versatility, so it just seems like a real decent card. Last but not least, we got a high-res image of the Delta 7B, which we've already seen before. It was face up on the spread of the Jedi Starfighter separate expansion. What we couldn't see before was the flavor text.
I like that flavor text.
The Delta 7B was designed as a heavier variant of the Delta 7 Aethys Bright Class Interceptor. Identifiable by its repositioned astromech slot, many Jedi generals favour this craft's greater firepower and durability. Well, there you go. There's a bit of lore for you guys. It doesn't add the astromech slot, by the way. That's just it just changes where it is.
Yeah, so it used to be on the left-hand side, it then moves it into the centre.
In the front, so they can shout at their astromech while they're gunning down droids.
Yeah.
Just to make sure they hear the message. But yeah, that's a interesting bunch of cards for sure. I mean, again, this isn't like the tactical relays we have on the droids or any of their unique missiles and stuff. But we're just seeing a little bit more incremental stuff which might make the torrents more viable.
They're not so much... Like, the droids have unique, specific things. The Jedi are having still unique things, but on different platforms.
Yes, it's very group huggy. It's very rebel.
Yeah,
which is not surprising because that sort of camaraderie is something that is very prevalent in the lore. You think about the prequel movies and how they fly together. It's the way they sort of show it. It's meant to sort of like mimic the Battle of the Death Star and the second Battle of the Death Star, that kind of stuff. They're the good guys. They get along. They have group hugs and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I'm curious. Again, in the comment section, guys, what do you think? Do you think this is going to make the Torrent Fighter relevant? Do you think there's any kind of variation with those? What kind of Jedi Starfighter builds are we looking at?
Yeah.
Really looking forward to all of this.
Yeah. What artworks are you thinking about painting on your different ships?
Yes. Oh, I had a really cool comment in the last video. Someone was showing off their Shapeways minis of all their Jedi Starfighters with all the different stuff.
Nice.
Looks really, really cool. I wouldn't mind owning a few Jedi Starfighters. I know I want to fly CIS, so do you, but I just want to buy a few Jedi Starfighters. They look so cool. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter and Reddit. Please consider supporting the Patreon. Every dollar counts. It makes a huge difference. Also, one more thing. I've just opened up a new channel. We were talking about other games like Legion and all that kind of stuff on the channel a while ago, and I've decided to keep doing that, but it's going to be on a separate channel from this one. So this channel is now dedicated to X-Wing. Don't worry, anything I do on that other channel is not going to slow down what happens on this channel. We are primarily into X-Wing. If X-Wing articles come out at the same time as everything else, we're going to focus on those. Please go over there, give us a subscribe, because YouTube need a certain amount of subscribers before I can even change the thumbnails on videos. Anyway, let's not get into that. We'll catch you guys in the next video.
Bye.